everybody, Wild Man Wes here, and welcome to another episode of Worst State of Movies. I'm glad some of you decided to come back after our last episode about Victor Crowley. Let's get on the plane and see where we go next. Alright, we're up to the edge of the Northeast with the state of Maine. When it comes to Maine, especially when it comes to films and literature, we're going back to another Stephen King thing, aren't we? Oh boy. Oh, this could either be really good or really bad. A good portion of Stephen King's work has been adapted to film and television, for better or worse. Today we're going to be talking about the 2003 adaptation of his story, Dreamcatcher. This story is about 4 young men who are going to see if they can find one of their friends that they helped from bullies when they were children, who gave them all these different powers. The abilities to predict things, abilities to heal fast, the abilities to read into people's minds. Is this a Stephen King book or X-Men? I don't know. But anyways, these 4 young men decide they're going to do one of their reunion bits of going out to a cabin to go hunting, and something goes wrong. There's other people that come through the area that are physically ill and eventually are infected by parasites of some sort. And they start infecting these young men, and the military gets involved to quarantine them. And one of the main people in the military decides they want to try to find this parasite and weaponize it. Literature and reality going into one. Oh, man. You can't make this up, folks. Eventually, one of the young men finds the guy that they saved from being bullied as a kid, that gave them these powers, sends him back over to this remote area and cabin where there's a big brutal smackdown of aliens, and everything eventually works out, at least for the people that are alive at the end of this film. Oh, folks, if you don't believe me and if you've never seen this movie, try watching it at least once, because that's about the best I can give you. I'm sorry, folks, we're getting to the halfway mark of this series, and some of these films have really started to bog me down, especially the horror films. I mean, I know that there are some bad horror films out there, but this one, I really don't know what to think of it. But we're going to talk about what I like and what I don't like about this film. What I don't like about this film is I feel that they take too many privileges of making nods to other movies, to the point where it's one thing to make a nod, but it's another thing to completely make it your own. And there's the concept of the Aliens franchise, of this parasite that's leaping on from one person to another, and also just with the military being involved trying to fight everything and quarantine. You start getting Independence Day in this. You also, I'll not to mention, but then again, there's one thing that I can't really give Stephen King too much grief about, because when you start pulling from your own work, it's almost a side project. At one point, you find out that these kids grew up in Derry, Maine. Derry, Maine is the location to Stephen King's It, with the Losers Club fighting Pennywise. And there are nods to that story in this. So you wonder, is this a spin-off, or is this just one of those moments where Stephen King just wants to make you think, oh, yeah, just a reference. Yeah, you don't know, and that's what kind of bothers me as well, because I'd like to think that this is a spin-off of the It series. And I'm not sure, because it's never really been talked about. I did my research and tried to ask questions online, and I came back with nothing. And that really sucks. Also, when it comes to the whole people being infected by this parasite, one of the terms that they bring up is the Ripley virus, and I just kind of went, oh man, I get it. You're trying to think of something different, but also make a nod to another franchise. It just, I groaned the whole time. Now the cast, definitely holds this movie together. We have Morgan Freeman playing the head of the military group. We have Jason Lee. We have Timothy Olyphant. We have, Michael O'Neill. We have Tom Sizemore. We also have Donnie Wahlberg as well as Damian Lewis. They do very, very well in this film for what they can. However, their performances don't necessarily keep the movie complete, especially with the story and how all over the place this thing gets. I mentioned ADD overload in a couple of the episodes before, and this one I really just couldn't put my finger on it. This one just really... Holy cow, you folks are probably going to start getting tired of these episodes. I'm not sure. However, unless, of course, you like to watch me groan and suffer with movies that I don't really know what to think of. However, when it comes to Dreamcatcher, yeah, I've seen some movies that are adapted from Stephen King's work, and this one, not as bad as Sleepwalkers, but man, this was damn near close. Well, we hope you enjoyed my slow yet painful mental breakdown of Dreamcatcher. If you've seen this movie before and you feel my pain, leave a thumbs up. And if not, it's okay. You can tell me, Wes, seek help. You need it. Otherwise, make sure you share on social media, but most importantly, push that little red button and ring the bell for instant notifications. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes, and we'll see you hopefully again the next time for Worst State of Movies. Y'all take care now.